They see his mop, not his mind. His silence, not his storm. For them, Eli Santos is just another fixture in the quiet halls of the university at night, the invisible man who cleans up after dreams that aren't his own. But in the hushed hours after midnight, when the only sound is the rain against the glass, something else awakens. He pauses his work, drawn to a chalkboard filled with complex equations that have stumped the brightest minds on campus. For a moment, he just stares. Then, with a piece of chalk he found, he begins to solve it. It's easy to hide when no one's looking. The next morning, the lecture hall buzzes with confusion. Mara, a bright student, points at the board in disbelief. Who solved this? It's been on the board for weeks. The whispers ripple through the room. Dean Alvarez, a man who prides himself on order, looks on with suspicion. A prank? He checks the security footage, expecting to find a boastful student. Instead, he sees the janitor, Eli, not just cleaning the board, but completing the equation before wiping it away. A janitor? He scoffs. No, this must be some kind of joke. But curiosity is a powerful thing. He summons Eli to his office, a place Eli has only ever cleaned. Did you solve that equation on Professor Miller's board? Dean Alvarez asks, his voice sharp and direct. Eli hesitates, his eyes fixed on the floor. I was just cleaning. The dean leans forward, unconvinced. You're not just cleaning. You're solving problems my tenured professors struggle with for days. Who taught you this? Eli's answer is barely a whisper. No one. He didn't want this attention. He never did. For him, genius was just another burden, one far easier to hide than the pain he carried. The dean, sensing something deeper at play, makes a call. Eli isn't in trouble, but he's about to be sent somewhere he dreads even more than the dean's office. To see a counselor, Dr. Rivera. The counseling room is quiet, the air thick with unspoken words. Dr. Rivera sits patiently, her calm presence a stark contrast to Eli's coiled tension. She waits. Finally, she speaks. You're not here because you're in trouble, Eli. You're here because you matter. Eli flinches at the words, shaking his head. I don't need help. A small, knowing smile touches Dr. Rivera's lips. Everyone who says that usually does. Eli avoids her gaze, his hands fidgeting, twisting the hem of his worn shirt. Talking felt dangerous. Words were traps. The last time he truly trusted someone, put his faith in them, they left. And the silence that followed was a lesson he never forgot. He remembers being a boy, not in a classroom, but on the floor surrounded by broken electronics. He wasn't playing. He was learning, teaching himself the language of circuits and code under the dim light of a single lamp. He was building a future from scraps. Then, his father's voice, a storm that shattered his fragile world. Dreams don't feed you. Get a real job. The yelling, the disappointment, it was a hammer blow to his spirit. So he stopped dreaming and started surviving. He learned a harsh lesson. Pain taught him that brilliance doesn't always bring you peace. Back in the present, Dr. Rivera's voice gently pulls him from the memory. Your pain isn't a weakness, Eli. It's just unhealed strength. A few days later, Mara finds him cleaning the library. She approaches him, not with suspicion, but with awe. You make it look so easy, she says, gesturing towards her textbook. Could you maybe help me with this? Tutor me? Eli looks away, back to his familiar world of anonymity. Why don't you teach? You could be a professor here. He gives a hollow laugh. Because nobody listens to janitors. Mara looks him straight in the eye, her expression unwavering. Then make them listen. Her words hang in the air, a simple, powerful challenge. Sometimes, all it takes is one person who believes in you, especially when you can't believe in yourself. For the first time in years, as he hesitantly explains the complex theory to her, a genuine smile touches Eli's lips. The dean, urged on by Dr. Rivera and Mara's glowing reports, calls Eli back into his office. This time, there's no accusation, only an offer. A full scholarship, a teaching position, a future. But the offer feels like a cage, and Eli panics. I can't, he stammers, backing away. I don't belong here. He flees to the only place he feels safe, Dr. Rivera's office. He finds her waiting. You've spent your whole life waiting for someone to tell you you're enough, she says softly. I'm telling you. The dean is telling you. You are enough. The dam he built so long ago finally breaks. Eli doesn't sob, but silent tears stream down his face, washing away years of fear. Healing doesn't happen when you re-ready. It happens when you re-tired of being afraid. Eli walks through the same hallway he has swept 1,000 times. But today, it's different. Students don't look through him anymore. They greet him, some with a nod, others with a smile. He's no longer invisible. He reaches a classroom, takes a deep breath, and steps inside. Not as a cleaner, but as a teacher. He turns to face the students, his students, and a quiet confidence settles over him. There's brilliance in everyone, he begins, his voice clear and steady. Even in the ones who sweep the floors. He picks up a piece of chalk, and as he begins to write on the board, the familiar motion feels like coming home. Later that evening, the university is quiet again. Eli stands alone in the empty classroom, the scent of chalk dust in the air. He turns off the lights, and in the dim glow from the hallway, he looks at the equations on the board. A faint smile on his face. He finally understands. The world didn't change. He did. He learned that true strength isn't about hiding your brilliance or your pain. It's about accepting your scars and finally letting people in. Thank you for watching. If this story moved you, please consider liking and subscribing for more content that explores the power of the human spirit. Your support means the world.